So this is Sai Hudspeth, and this is Grammar of the Edit. So basically what I wanted to do was take a previous presentation that really helped me understanding the flow of editing, which I talked a little bit about in the previous slideshow that I did, which was audio mixing, and apply that to the actual editing of visual clips. So in this one, I basically reviewed the grammar of the edit, took the basic parts that I needed for interviews pertaining to my film, and then applied it in a scenario that I think would be appropriate for both a job and my film. So the first slide is some diagrams from the grammar of the edit. Diagram 1 basically shows where the camera should be when filming two people talking to each other. Same with diagram 2. And then general practices show the angles of the cameras for a dialogue piece. We can see this in many different films, one notably being The Moonrise Kingdom, which was a Wes Anderson film. He used framing to show relative location and to connect characters to each other. In the first image, we see two people standing very far away in a field. The second, a girl talking. The third, a boy talking. And then the fourth, them close together as they walked towards each other. As we can see, it never cut to different levels on the person. It always stayed at the same level since the two characters were relatively the same size, as well as being on an equal level field. It never broke the 180 degrees rule either. As we can see in the first diagram, the person is talking to the second person, but if we cut to the third slide, it breaks the 180 degrees rule, and it looks like they are both talking into thin air. We can see an example of this in CD 92.9 FM's radio station podcasts, where the host is being shot from one angle, but then the guest and both of them are being shot from a different angle. I drew some diagrams signifying the host and the guest, and where the camera is pointed, and how it looks represented in a diagram of where they are both looking versus where they actually are. I looked at a later episode in that series as well and did the same thing, this one being a step up in production where they did not break the 180 degree rule and actually place the cameras in the right degree, in the right amount of degrees apart from each other. My next step was to write out a small script, so I decided to set on a radio show like the one I mentioned, CD 92.9 FM. This one being called Two Rivers Radio, and having two hosts who talk about music and host a radio show. I then proceeded to use shot design to design the room that they were in and place cameras and lights. I then realized that I had broken the 180 degree rule as demonstrated in this diagram I created on shot design. I marked out where the cameras should be in relevance to the first camera I placed, the red camera, and the wide shot of both of them included. I then drew where the cameras should be and their viewpoints and who they would encapsulate. As we can see, it follows the diagram that I showed in the first slide and is all equally spaced out. I then proceeded to draw smaller frames of what I thought the shots might look like. And as you can see, I have one close-up of one person's face, and then it switches to a different frame with their face also on the same side of the frame. so that doesn't break any 180-degree rule, and you know who the counterpart is. Additionally, in the fourth slide, we see them both on opposite sides of the table, and no 180-degree rule here is broken either. I then marked out on the script where I wanted to switch cuts, so this might be used more for television or a or a structured podcast or something that has multi-camera. And then I recorded audio pieces and the video for this whole script, and then proceeded to edit in the shots as I thought they were appropriate. And that was Think of the Children by Alabaster Daydreams. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Two Rivers Radio, playing you all the hits all the time. Now we'll be switching over to our talk show portion from 8 to 9, hosted by yours truly, and yours, after the break. If you're tuning in now, it's a cool 23 degrees Fahrenheit in Aspen, Colorado. If you're listening locally, be sure to stop by Bear Den Aspen on South Monarch Street for a hot cup joe and some hearty food. Breakfast from 8 to 11 and open 7 to 10 p.m. daily. Welcome to the Empty Tints Podcast, a program where Tom and I talk about bands that are up and coming and have progressive musicians. Today we're looking at Xand, an industrial pop artist and social issues advocate. Born in Blackpool, Xand, also known as Xander Sweeney, began writing and releasing acoustic folk music at the age of 20 as Seafoal, to now being an out and proud non-binary musician producing music in the self-described ugly pop genre. Xand channels their queer identity into vocalizing social issues such as gender abuse and discrimination. Interested in more? Stay tuned for an exclusive interview after this song. Now here's Religion by Xand.
My angel's most polite when I am on my knees, yeah. And I am even nicer when she asks me please. Doesn't make me pray too long till she's dancing on my tongue. And when she's done, she shows me how she got them wings. She looks just like a god. Baby, call me Catholic.
Yeah, thank you.